These deck plate gaskets that goes right in here around that thing right there. That's these right here. If you order one, this was just a couple of gaskets that I ordered many years ago. And if you put the micrometer on there, that gasket mics out anywhere you mic it at. The material is 12 thousandths thick. 12. Okay, the thin one is 6,000 exactly. Anywhere you mic it, that gasket is 6,000. That's the thick and the thin if you order them. Okay, the original gasket that I took out of here, and if you put the micrometer to it anywhere up and down the line right there, it's 16 thousandths. Anywhere that you measure it, it's 16 thousandths. So going by that, neither of these gaskets that was ordered are the right thickness. So, you know me, gasket material, I cut my own, 16 thousandths. Now let's get on to this guide pin. Well, let's see, probably should start right here. The guide pin, guide rod, some manuals say that's a guide rod right there. Okay, if you're looking at this one right here in hand and you put the micrometer on it, somewhere right down in let's see, about right there. See, that measurement right there is 370 thousandths. Okay, if you come up right up there at the top, that's 372, and you come down yonder at the close to the bottom, that's 373. And if you come backwards like this, see 373, right in the middle, 373, and down at the bottom on that side is 372. Okay, this right here, and this here guide bushing, when you put that on there, that's really loose. And this right here, let's say you there in your workshop and you ain't got nothing but one of these old Craftsman's. I think this is a 5161 or a 5181 number. Craftsman, and that's all you got, and no vise there. You got a hammer and a punch and a micrometer, and let's say that's about it. And you got an EK Magneto that won't work. Okay, now you can get over yonder on the milling machine and the lathe, and you can set this really right. Or you can do a little vise work. This one right here is the one at hand, and it's the same story. If you mic it, that's 374 up there at the top, and way down there at the bottom, it's 372. So that one has a taper wore in it, and you actually can see the wire where it wore down on the bottom, in the front and side this way. And this here being the bushing that this needs to go in, and out here in hand you can see it's quite a bit of free play. So and EK won't work like that. It might work. It might work. I've seen some of them that have a 1/8 of an inch play and they still run the engine, but when you took it off of that engine and put it on another one, it no longer worked. Now, I done a little pre-thinking over there. We'll get back over on the other bench over there and I'll show you something else. But this right here is drill rod, and I cut these out the same length as the guide pin that's in that. And you can see here, I've did a bunch of these. This ain't just a one-time deal on this right here. I've done dozens of these. And I'll show you something. You know, right there, that's just a handful that I had thrown on the workbench over there. And you can see some of them is to the extreme of wear. Some of them is really, really bad. But when you knock them out, this is in here. And they put this in here when they make these. These are casted in there. And there's a little ring undercut. When they put that in the mold, that's in there like that. And then when they put that hot metal in there, it fills that up, and that's what holds it in there. And when you knock it out, you have to shear that piece of metal away. And then when you dig that out, this is what you end up with. That one right there, that one was wore but real bad too. And but what I want to do is to replace this pin with a perfectly good straight one that will last many years to come. Now, I have used that bomb testing analogy in the past, and that's what this is. You only get one chance at it. But the way it stands now, this is scrap iron. You can see that one right there is wore on the... Oh, that's not it. This is the one we're going to replace. And then you can see it's also wore sideways up there. It's there, and then it's got a big place there, and it's wore off on that side. So this is not usable as it is. It's just a piece of scrap. So if it does break, then nothing is lost. You know, you can't use it like this. So it's one of them things where you have to try it, but you only get one chance at it. And what I'm talking about is when you knock this pin out to shear that piece of metal away in order to press another one back in there, they will break. This is the skinniest place right here, and they'll either crack right there or right here or on the other side. So what I come up with to kind of it works for me, and this is a washer that the inside diameter is a really, really tight, snug fit on the original size down there. If you bring it up here, see, it's real loose, but when you put it down there, it's a tight fit. Okay, there's a little step right yonder. And I'm not advising you to do this at all. I'm just telling you this is what I do, and we're going to do this right here, and we'll see the outcome. Now, in order to stabilize that a little bit, I've got another piece of metal right there that is exactly the same thickness of that is. Okay, the Craftsman, this old Craftsman vise right here, we'll put that right down in there with that washer on yonder, put that right down in there like that, and put this piece of flat metal over yonder on the back side up to about right there. And all that does is kind of stabilize it. Okay, I'm going to tighten the vise up only finger tight. It's not tight, but it's not loose. And most of the time, it only takes a couple of licks with the medium-sized hammer to knock that out. And I have found out, I've tried to press these out in the past. You know, I have tried a dozen ways to get that out of there, and ended up with this right here. Without further ado, let's see, can we knock that one out and see what we have left with it. So I'm going to get right up here, and this is a good, nice, flat punch. Smaller size a little bit than that pin is. And you can see when they casted that on there, it didn't come all the way through. It was a little bit shy, so they do have a little flash metal there, which won't harm anything. So I'll put that as near center as I can get it, and with this hammer right here, let's knock that out of there. Okay. Now, there's our bottom plate. There's our little spacer washer. same thickness of that, a little bit less because I had to make up for that little intrusion. Anyways, and loosen the vise up just a shade there to get the, and there's our pin. And see, it wasn't tight enough. It was just tight enough there to where I didn't have any play on there. But now we knocked that out, sheared that piece of metal away. The next thing we got to do is to get this pin. We got to get that back in there. Okay, I'll show you something. These pins. Let's find it now. Let's not get nothing wrong. If you mark the original pin up there, the part that was in that housing, you can see that that is exactly straight across 375 thousandths is the size of that stock right there. Okay, the drill rod that I got right there was, I think I bought it as 376 with a 1/1000th undersize. I mean 377. So if you put the micrometer on it, it comes out exactly 376 thousandths. Right on the money. Maybe just a shade, some tenths more. But this is 1/1000th larger than the original pin. And I cut it the same length, and then you can make these a little bit long, and then when you press it in there, you can actually let it protrude on this side a small amount more. But now we got to get this back in here. It's got to go right back up in there. Now, how are you going to do that? We're going to do it with the vise here. So wound your vise out there. And we got to go right here like that, and right over here like this right here, and put that right there. Put that right there, kind of center it up on the vise, center it up, and then tighten it up. Okay, now some vices goes crooked, so once it starts, you want to let go, and that way it can find its trueness again, and then put it back in there and press it some more. Okay, we're going to do that again. Okay, it's almost through, but not hardly. So put it back in there. Okay. Now it's dead level with the end. Now, y'all see that crack right there? That was enough pressure to crack this point tire plate. What we're going to do now? We're going to second think this one. I'll show you what we're going to do.